This is Hank Kobler with ExtraPointFootball.com. This week's Try This is going to take a look at the defensive side of the ball, previewing this Thursday night's matchup with the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens, talking about how the Falcons can put more pressure on the young, inexperienced Joe Flacco to negate the advantage that they have in receiving weapons by making him make bad throws. So this is called the double A gap blitz, pioneered by Philadelphia's late Jim Johnson, their defensive coordinator. And what it does is it brings two linebackers up in between the defensive line, both of them threatening to rush in between the center and the guard. And now, the most obvious benefit of this is just a straight blitz. You get 6 rushers, which occupies the line on this side. Then your defensive end comes on the back side of the play and blitzes. Now, this can be beaten a few ways, most clearly by just running a sweep play to the right. You let your entire line block right. The backside defensive end is not going to chase the play down most of the time. And then the tight end can just bleed block for your running back. Now, in order to counter this, if you just straight blitz out of this package every time, that would become boring and predictable and could be negated by those runs. This is where you insert a variety of different plays out of the same formation to confuse the offense. If Flacco sees these two linebackers up here crowding the A gaps, he's going to have to make protection adjustments at the line of scrimmage, such as the ones here, or even have his running back or tight end stay in the block, which limits the types of plays they can run, because he has to be prepared for the blitz, no matter what, whether they're blitz or not. So you can do a few things here. The offense will, of course, try and beat him with a slant, everybody's favorite blitz beating route. The easiest way to negate this is, instead of rushing everybody, send your defensive end into that flat zone, your linebacker over, while still rushing with a few other guys. Now, to confuse them even more, they try and run their tight end on the post route, dropping 2 linebackers into coverage. Flacco sees the blitz before the snap. He throws to where Todd Heap should be open. He's liable to get picked off by one of the Falcons linebackers. Now, at the same time, you can mix things up on this side of the play. Here it looks like the linebacker is going to cover the slot receiver, but at the last minute, you let the defensive end cover him and let the linebacker blitz, while making the rest of the play the normal blitz. And Flacco's just going to see his slot receiver open for a split second before the defensive end gets in there and jumps to break up the play. So you have this variety of plays out of the same formation. And now, when to use this variety is based off of what the defensive captains are going to see. This is where film study and small things like that come in. You see certain tendencies that all players and teams have that tend to tip off what they're doing. And so when you see that is when the defensive captain has to call an audible at the line, make an adjustment, and check into the right play. Otherwise, they can get burned badly. But that's the nature of all defensive plays right there. So if the players can be smart, recognize what they're seeing from the offense, and counteract it with different adjustments in plays such as that, they can be successful. One more way in which they can really surprise Flacco is, again, when he tries to beat him with the slant route, send the corner on a blitz. He's going to panic because he has an unblocked man coming in straight on his throwing side. So he's going to try and get rid of the ball to his hot receiver. And you can have 2 zones right there to pick him off to make sure he doesn't do anything. Make sure he doesn't pick up any yards on the play. So you have all these different ways you can counteract it. Let your defensive captains be smart, show off their film study. You have guys like John Abraham, who have been in the league for over a decade, that can have that leadership, that experience to know what they see in offense when it's coming out. Allow them to do things like this, and that'll put your defense in a better position to pressure Flacco, trick him when dropping your men back because he still sees the pressure ahead of the snap. And then it'll just cause him to make a lot of bad plays, especially on 3rd down, must-pass situations where he has to pass. He's already not good when under pressure, so either forcing that pressure on him or stimulating the pressure and making him think he's under pressure while throwing into a heavy pass defense is a key to getting success against the Baltimore Ravens' high-octane passing offense. This is Hank Kobler with ExtraPointFootball.com. See you next week on Try This.